At 79 years old, Barry Gibb finally speaks with rare honesty about his life, his losses, his love, and the quiet truth he has long carried about fellow British music legend Cliff Richard. Born Barry Allen Crompton Gibb on September 1, 1946, in Douglas on the Isle of Man, Barry grew up as the second of 5 children in a household where music was not just encouraged but lived and breathed daily by parents Hugh and Barbara Gibb. From an early age, Barry showed an extraordinary instinct for melody and harmony, a natural songwriter whose ability to fuse raw emotion with sophisticated structure would define a career spanning more than 6 decades. As the Gibb family relocated from England to Australia, Barry's musical ambitions intensified alongside his younger twin brothers, Robin and Maurice, and together they formed what would become the Bee Gees, a partnership that felt less like a band and more like destiny. Beginning in small Australian venues and later propelled onto the international stage by producer Robert Stigwood, the Bee Gees rose rapidly, shaping popular music across eras, from tender 1960s ballads like To Love Somebody and Massachusetts to the genre-defining disco anthems of the 1970s such as Staying Alive, Night Fever, and How Deep Is Your Love. As the creative leader, Barry's falsetto became iconic, his songwriting timeless, and his production techniques revolutionary, culminating in the historic Saturday Night Fever soundtrack, one of the best-selling albums of all time. Beyond the Bee Gees, Barry's influence extended through hits he wrote and produced for artists like Barbra Streisand, Diana Ross, Kenny Rogers, and Dolly Parton, proving his rare ability to evolve with changing musical landscapes while preserving emotional truth. Yet behind the triumphs lay profound heartbreak, the loss of his brother Andy in 1988, Maurice in 2003, and Robin in 2012 left Barry as the last surviving Bee Gee, carrying both their legacy and the weight of unimaginable grief. Through it all, Barry endured, channeling his sorrow into introspective later work like In the Now, while often saying he feels his brother's presence when he performs, as if their bond transcends death. His personal life mirrored this journey of growth and resilience, beginning with his early marriage to Maureen Bates in 1966, a union formed before fame fully arrived and later strained by its relentless demands, ending in divorce in 1970. That same year, fate intervened when Barry met Linda Gray, a former Miss Edinburgh whose quiet strength and grounded spirit became his anchor for more than 5 decades. Married on his birthday in 1970, Linda stood beside him through global fame, family life, and devastating loss, helping raise their 5 children and providing emotional refuge when the world felt unbearable. Barry has often said Linda saved him, grounding him spiritually and emotionally when fame and grief threatened to overwhelm him. Now, in the reflective calm of later life, Barry has finally opened up about Cliff Richard, a relationship long speculated upon but rarely discussed. Looking back to the 1960s, Barry credits Cliff as one of the first artists who showed him it was possible to be both famous and decent, admiring his humility, faith, and unwavering moral compass in an industry full of temptation. He acknowledges that Cliff's early success helped pave the way for British artists to believe the world would listen to them, even as their paths later diverged under the pressures of fame. While they were never constant companions, Barry emphasizes that respect always remained, even as time, touring, and superstardom created distance. What Barry admires most, he says, is Cliff's refusal to chase trends, his courage to remain true to himself despite criticism, and his ability to balance fame with faith without losing his soul. Speaking as a survivor who has buried his brothers and watched countless peers fade away, Barry sees a shared bond with Cliff rooted in endurance, melody, and meaning. In the end, Barry's truth is not one of scandal, but of gratitude, a quiet tribute from one legend to another. People always want drama, he says, but the truth is simpler. Cliff's a good man. One of the best. At 79, Barry Gibb speaks not as a superstar seeking headlines, but as a man reflecting on a lifetime of love, loss, music, and respect, reminding us that behind the spotlight exists a silent fraternity of artists who endured, evolved, and never stopped believing in the power of song.